In 2008, Kenya launched its Vision 2030 to serve as a blueprint to transform Kenya into an industrial medium-income country. In order to achieve such a goal, the involvement of micro, small, medium enterprises has been one of the key areas of focus to increase economic productivity. The current phase of the third medium-term plan is being driven by the Big Four agenda: food security and nutrition, affordable universal healthcare, affordable housing, and enhanced manufacturing. In line with its plan, the government has initiated the Affordable Housing Program. Through the program, the government aimed to provide 500,000 affordable housing units for low-income households by 2022. One such project was a Park Road Affordable Housing Project, contracted to the China State Construction Engineering Company. A multi-government agency committee undertook a pilot initiative to include a subcontract that would see the production and fitting of metal and wooden doors from Jua Kali artisans.
As we visited the communities in Ngong Road who make wood, in Kariobangi, steel and wood, and also in Kamukoji, there's one question we used to ask them. So what is it that you need to get to the next level? And they would keep telling us that what we would want is market linkages, an opportunity to prove our worth and to be able to work on a big project.
Kenya has an extremely vibrant private sector and SME economy, and most of that, over 50% of that, is centered in Nairobi. For this project particularly, we focused on 3 clusters. That's Ngong Road, which has about 4,000 members, Kamukunji, which has about 5,000 members, and Kariobangi or K-Light Industries, which has about 2,000 members. So those 3 are informal sector clusters focused on woodwork and metalwork. Those 3 were the focus areas for this project, and the Executive Office of the President, together with the National Construction Authority and Housing and Urban Development, worked with those clusters to form one trading company called Ngokamka, which is an amalgamation of the 3 names, and use them to supply the doors and door frames for the Park Road pilot of the affordable housing project.
We said, let's pilot with the first one. And that was how we came up with the doors. Now, in Park Road, which at the time was the smallest of all the flagship projects, we had in excess of 7,000 doors. And that was split between metallic and wooden doors. And we said, what is the quantum in terms of the contract sum for that particular product? Now, 150 million shillings is quite substantive. And especially when we are saying that this can be produced by SMEs who basically have like 5 brokers in between them and the market.
We have learned a lot, especially in terms of technology. And when it comes to standardization of production, I think it is an issue which even other Juakalis need to learn. And the way we do it in Juakali, we are not very consistent with our production. Much of the work we do in Juakali, we don't use machines.
There were no cutting corners because the person who is buying the door is not going to say, look, I am okay buying a substandard door because it is being made by a Juakali artisan. So they had to make high quality doors. So no compromise on quality. Then they also realized, hang on a second, yes, we're going to earn 150 million, but before we earn that 150 million, we need to produce those doors. So we need something called working capital. So we don't need even to take them to a school. This was a school of experience where we talk about formalizing them. They're informal by design. And but now they realized 150 million is another story. They need a financier. A financier wants a counterparty because your 10,000 of you in an association, that is not a counterparty that I can sign or I can be able to lend onto. And so we automatically found them corporatizing They formalized, they corporatized, they came one day, talked about they have a chairman, they have a board, they even had a legal advisor, and without government having to get involved in their business.
Our being brought to such big project is a challenge to us to start thinking beyond the box. I think if we are able to make products of high quality, we can get the jobs. As we have shown here in Park Road, we have been able to break through, to break even with the little money we had. And I think the Juakali has a good future.
I think when you try and track that journey, I think there was a great change that took place in a very, very short time, which shows you that if people are given the opportunity that they deserve, it's amazing how quickly they're able to jump to the next levels in terms of what they actually do. However, even the greater story is that even as they appreciated, what they were able to get, they themselves transformed in terms of their skills, in terms of their ability to negotiate, in terms of, as I said, the ability to now have a greater ambition about what it is that they could become and what they can actually do. Not to mention that I really believe that their livelihoods, their wealth also grew as a result of this particular project.
The National Construction Authority is a government agency whose mandate is to oversee the construction industry and coordinate its development. Basically, it's the construction industry regulator in Kenya. The government identified the need to incorporate the small and medium enterprise team, or I can call it Juakali, to be part and parcel of that particular construction.
This project has really propelled us, not just as an association, but more so as individuals, because it's given us the confidence that we can work for bigger projects. Yes, and I have the confidence that I can go to a site and look for work there because of the experience I've gained from this project. Having dealt with a government that believes in us, believes that the Juakali people can deliver, can handle big monies, we need to take advantage of that and really try and get to the next level in our businesses.
Now in the process, because the contract was for building the doors and installing them. So by the time they were installing the doors, the houses were complete. And they were like, hang on a second, these are beautiful houses. Which human beings have a right to occupy them. So they came to me and they said, are we entitled or do we qualify? And I said, you're a Kenyan. Certainly you can be able to show that you can support in terms of your payments. No problem.
They have already allocated people, and we are also happy. As Juakali, actually, we have been allocated 45 units. So our members actually, they're enjoying here and they are coming to stay here. If there is another site, government will do the job like this one, I know they are going to remember us, and the other Juakalis in Kenya.
And that to me is perhaps one of the unintended consequences of this program, but also being bold in this undertaking, that we can say that an intervention that began by let's give them an opportunity translated into new homeowners. And you're talking about a class that ordinarily you don't associate with home ownership. To me, that is really the most powerful part. And if we missed anything else, that bit is so satisfying. And now the question is, how do we take that, scale it up, extrapolate it across various products?
Access to market is necessary, but it's not sufficient. You need other support. So how do you provide support on training, on standardization, on business skills, on governance? And we got some of this right, but we didn't get all of it right. So part of the reason we're conducting this impact study with Housing and Urban Development, with a financial sector deepening Kenya, with the National Construction Authority, with the Ministry of Industry and Trade, is to go back and say, we're proud of what we've done. What are the one or two things we can learn when we're working on affordable housing in Kisumu, in Mombasa, in Kajiado, in Narok. These are things we know that any Jua Kali SME cluster will likely need to meet this kind of order, this kind of quality.
We are happy to have partnered with the SME unit, the Office of the President, to review and take account of what this project, the affordable housing project, has been able to achieve. One interesting element of this is the fact that the government was very intentional in partnering with the informal sector.
People can evolve. You can start from a business association and evolve into a company. Because you're a company, you've got access to a lot more of the factors of production, be they finance, be they training, be they raw materials. Because they were now doing a sizable amount of raw materials, they were able to negotiate much better. For the first time, they were saying they were getting a better quality of wood, a better quality of steel than they had been able to get before when they were doing very small items. Continue conversation, I think, with all the different actors that are required, not just government, but even private sector, in ensuring that we are able to tap the great potential that we have and utilize it for the development of this country.
The pilot has demonstrated the potential of Jua Kali artisans to partner and deliver on projects of this magnitude that were previously a reserve for more formalized institutions. The government of Kenya intends to continue involving Jua Kali artisans in its affordable housing program.